It's your boy Bleeves. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 It's been a long day, I mean a long week, maybe a long year, so let's get something clear. We're gonna stock up on some party favors later on. Tell everybody they're invited, you should come along. Best to bring your good foot, ladies gonna be dancing on the ceiling. Cocky and appealing, possibly revealing. Getting sideways like a bridesmaid as she vibrate. If you a lightweight, hope you hydrate. We gon' tip the bottles back, busting out the fat sacks. People wearing costumes, chewing on a mushroom. Something like a wonderland, understand? Going down the rabbit hole with my kinfolk to another land. Damn, I said we do it like this. Magic carpet riders on some third eye shit. Mr. Pine Cones come a long, long way, so everybody get sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Bleeves. Good morning to you, and welcome to Breakfast with Bleeves, where, oh my God, I don't even know what to say at this point. Normally we start off with the pre-markets. That's usually the first thing that I want to look at every day, but I want to show you guys something that, like, this is really incredible. We haven't seen anything like this in a very, very long time. It's been at least 7 months, and it's like, I'm super excited. This marks something new that we haven't seen in this market in a while. So without further ado, let's pop into it right now. The Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is in neutral territory. We have moved out of fear for the first time in 7 months. Now, will that maintain? I don't know that it maintains or not. I just know that we're in a better situation than we were the last 7 months. People are feeling a lot better about their positions, and there's a reason for that. And there's a positive sentiment. There's just this thing in the air right now. This sentiment that maybe the worst is behind us. Now, I don't know that that's the case. I don't think that that's true. I think that we have some more downside. I think the fact that most of the banks have started to prime people for a recession, and they've started to plan for it, means that they're predicting at least some sort of downward pressure, which probably extends to our markets as well. But we don't know yet. I do still have that feeling. But for the day, for right now, we are in neutral. And with that being said, it's prime time right now for the market to get sent. Now, why is this happening? Well, first of all, we had the pump, right? We called the pump. We said this was going to happen. It happened. It played out exactly the way we anticipated, but there was more to it. This right here, this is called a Morningstar reversal. Now, you don't see this very often, okay? These are Morningstar reversals that have happened, right? When it happened this last time over here, that started the run that took us to 69,000. Here it happens again. And you might think that, and what we're talking about is 1 month candles, that 2 1 month red candles add up to one green candle the month after. You would think that that probably has happened a bunch, and it has not. The first time that it happened was in 2015, and you can see up here. The last time we saw this formation fully, by the way, in Bitcoin was 2015. The price of Bitcoin was $160, and it went up to $20,000, an increase of 6,365%. Now, we haven't seen that again, and you saw it almost right here at the start of this. Let me show you where that is. You saw it almost right here at the start of this move that took us to 69,000. That's what I meant to say. It hasn't happened except in 2015, but it's happened again. Now, does that mean that we're going to go up 6,000%? Probably not. I don't know that the capital would exist for that, because that's a $1.2 million Bitcoin in the short term. And I don't know that we have the market cap for that, but the reversal is in, and we've minted a candle maybe that is going to give us exactly what it is that we're looking for, which is this move. So it's going to have to mint, right? I mean, we have to make it there first. But we're on the 17th of the month, and we have engulfed both candles fully, and the market's still showing a little bit of strength. Now, you can see over here, this is what it's looking like on this is the 1 hour. So we're seeing the same thing start to develop, and you see it over here a couple of times. So when you see it on a 1 hour, don't really get, but it is forming. Now, I think this is the 4 hour. No, this is the monthly. So we are seeing it on the monthly. A lot of people are starting to confirm it, but here we are on the pre-market, and we're down on the stock futures 141.11 and 44. Now, there is a reason for that, and let's go over here to the earnings whisper, and we will see that Morgan Stanley missed. This is a typo, by the way. This was the earnings were $1.31 a share, and it went $1.25 a share. Revenue was 19.7. The estimate for revenue was 25.8 billion. So it made its revenue, it made its earnings, did not make its revenue. Earnings Whisperer calls it a miss because Earnings Whisperer decided that $1.25 a share estimate was wrong, and it would be $1.37. That's the Earnings Whisperer's way of dumping on something when it doesn't like the result. So let's not worry about that one. Now let's go to Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is a problem. Goldman Sachs $3.32 a share, off of revenue of 20.9 billion. The earnings estimate was $5.25 a share on revenue of 11.4. Earnings Whisperer was at $5.97. So this is a gigantic miss. Guarantee Bank shares, they made it, but they're a very small one. Silvergate Capital reports, and it was just not as close as it should have been. Citizens Financial missed. Mercantile 66 billion, it beat. FB Financial Bank, it beat. Signature Bank on 1.2 billion, missed the earnings but hit the revenue. So you see there's a mixed bag here, and this bag that we're holding right now does not look great. We're starting to see cracks in the market. So now we have to deal with, or we're getting ready to deal with, the negative sentiment that we're about to experience in this market because of these bank results. Those bank results do not look as stellar as people want them to. So get prepared for a little bit of pain, but thankfully we have crypto for the rest of it. Now, if you're looking up here, market cap is 992 billion. We just need about $8 billion, and we're so close right now that we're probably going to see a pump that's going to take us over the hump. Whether it stays there or not, I don't know, but the volume is still at $46 billion. Not a volume that you like to see. That's no matter what anybody thinks, that volume right there does not support this type of level, because trading is in, trading is out, and right now money is flowing into the markets, and that's not great. What we need to see is money flowing in and out of the market. That's when it looks pretty healthy. Now, this could be simply because we're at the start of the run. This is where we're getting institutional money settled in low. They're waiting for that big move to the upside. They're nestling themselves in for the long haul, so to speak. So, I mean, we'll see how this plays out. But on the 1 hour, you can see Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin up 0.5%, Ethereum up almost 1%. On the 24-hour, they're both up a little bit over 2%. A lot of green that we're starting to see in the markets. And it is my understanding that the metaverse has been running wild. So let's look over here. Sandbox, Decentraland, they're up pretty good. But I mean, it's really the 7-day totals. When you look at the metaverses, go 7-day over here, and you see here Mana is out of control. You move down here, and you can see the Sandbox out of control. Phantom, another big one, is out of control. Solana still continuing to perform. Solana has made almost a full reversal. I mean, we have to recognize here that despite what happened with FTX, look at the reversal and look at the recovery that's happened for Solana. Now, this looks like a disaster, but put some context on it. You know, we were trading over here at the high around, was this November 5, around 36, and we're down here to 23. So we're not fully recovered yet. But let's go look at BNB around the same time. Let's go look at a 3-month window. So right here, right about here. So you can see BNB was at 360. BNB is at $300 basically. So everybody's kind of experiencing it. So they're not an outlier. The only difference is their dip just looked a little bit more dippy than some of the other ones. But, you know, we all kind of experienced it. And thank you for the $5. Believes Chad, check out Kabosu Inu, the living dog that inspired Dogecoin and therefore meme culture, solid community and team, renounced contract 2ML. Believes, can you check out Kabosu Inu ETH, new meme token, out with a banging community? All right, so we're going to take a quick look over here at Kabosu, by the way. For those of you that don't know, Kabosu has partnered with VoltaChange. They have pulled out they're using VoltaChange. So let's come over here and take a second to recognize. Now look at that volume, by the way, 136,000. Their marketing, by the way, 1% buy tax, 1% sell tax. I did look this up already. So, and a 1.52 million market cap. So you're looking at something that's been trading with a nice volume on 7-day. 1.62 million is their trading volume over the last 7 days, which means that in this week, $16.2 thousand went into their development wallet. So that should afford them the opportunity to do a few good things to kind of move this token to a new level. It's going to take some time. This is basically a community-driven token, so it only goes as far as the community goes. But they were smart enough, unlike some of the other tokens that we see in this space, they were smart enough before renouncing to make sure that they got that 1%, and that's a big deal. So that's a good sign. They'll be able to pay for listings. They'll be able to pay for whatever it is that they need to pay for, as long as they continue to maintain this level of volume. So good job on Kabosu so far. Would love if you can open up Kabosu Inu. Amazing community. We are opened up, and here we are. So guys, if you're into Volt, give this one a look and let me know what you think. But let's get back onto what we were doing here. Back to the BNB side. There's a lot of positivity in the market. You just saw a spike on Ethereum. We're going to stop right now and we're going to go check we're at 955 billion market cap. The market cap is starting to move to the positive, despite what's going on in the rest of the markets right now. Let's move back out here on the day chart. We want to look at, do we have any kind of moves or resistance or what's going on here? And it looks like we're in that big chop right there. We're in that big position, but we have closed 2 candles over the 200 EMA on the total crypto market cap. So, I want to say for sure that we are in a confirmed breakout right now. How far does it run? Well, we have to recognize, and look, we called it, right? We were fortunate enough that we called this move. We knew this was coming. We knew it was going to happen. It was easy to predict, right? But here's the problem. This is too much. Like this is too much for a normal market to bear, right? Because what we've done or what we've seen is just a massive layering of capital being thrown back into the market rapidly. That's not a move. That's not one of these right here. This is a rocket ride, right? So how far do rocket rides go? Well, you can see right here, there was a good one right here, followed by a little correction and another one right here. So then you've got a couple more that have happened over here. So we're not, as a matter of fact, we're not even in the massive sort of runs that we've been in before. We have to recognize it, but we're at the start of maybe this right here was that downward. That was that last time, right? And then we did this right here, and then everything started to get crazy, right? How often do we see this? Well, we do see it every once in a while. We don't see it the level that we just went through, right? We don't see it that same level, but there is some correction coming, because each time you see that move, that big move, right? That's followed by some correction. You see that big move, it's followed by some correction. Now, the question is the correction that we had enough? And the answer to that is no, that's not enough. Like, what we need now is we're going to need that right here. You're going to need that flag formation. You're going to need that parallel channel for people to start accumulating, because we're at that spot right now where it's, are we in takeoff mode? Otherwise, we're looking at something that we've never seen before. So, I hope that we get it, but we also need to remember and check out this right here. And you can see that we're fighting this 21.4 resistance right here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times that we've hit this resistance line. How many more times do we hit that resistance line before we reject? Excuse me. Before we reject. If we can't get over this line, then this is the end of that run, right? Because people are people. They're gonna get tired of the fight, and we're gonna move this out just a little bit here and kind of look back here just a bit to get an idea of what the market would look like. So, and we're seeing we're not even in a gigantic resistance area. Like we've been through gigantic resistance, right? So the fact that we're right here on this, as we move out, I might be able to look on a day or something like that and see that there's a little bit more on the way up a few years ago. But this local number right here is showing that this is not really a big resistance spot. And that leads us into all of this that takes us into that golden pocket. So, the question right now is, can we pump enough capital in the market to outweigh all of the selling that's going on at this moment? Can we get that reversal? So, this is getting very, very interesting. And if you look at it on the daily, you're super excited about what you're seeing. You see stuff like this. You rarely see stuff like this. When you do, it's usually followed by a little reversal and then another big move. So Can we get that big move? Now, here's the answer to that. And I want to preface this by saying I'm not bearish in any way, but volume matters. And I mean, guys, we don't have enough volume. This $46 billion, that's not going to break through these layers up here. That's just not going to happen. But we did get 2 billion just entered the market. And by the way, anything can happen. This is crypto. At some point, we could see that just absolutely parabolic breakthrough. And as a matter of fact, we are watching right now 21,393. We're back up, about to hit 21,4 one more time. Now, if that breaks through and we can just use it as support, then, you know, maybe, just maybe, we get, look at this, and we just got rejected at 21.4 again. And I mean, I don't even know if it's on the 5-minute chart or something like that. I don't know why that's at 21.3. I mean, there we are, right? So now we're rejected down to 21,380. So as soon as we hit it again, it rejected. So now we are in for a big fight that we're watching play out right now. It's, you know, at some point we're gonna have to we're gonna either have to break out or we're gonna break down. Just so you guys understand, like there's no two ways about it. This is I mean, look, it's not the fight of your life, so to speak, but it is a big fight in the reversal of cryptocurrency. So let's move on for right now. We'll keep this up here in the top left so that we can see what the price is, what the price action plays out to. But we want to cover some of this. 29% of American millennials own Bitcoin. That is what you call mass adoption. Despite the uncertainty that mounts in the United States crypto market, Americans continue to pour their funds into digital assets. Recent research by Morning Consult highlights that Bitcoin ownership across the United States is pretty evident. According to the study, millennials in the country were the most interesting in bagging Bitcoin, accounting for 29% of the assets ownership. 15% of U.S. adults were seen holding Bitcoin. Women accounted for only 7%, while 24% were men. Should be noted that those with an income of more than 100K amounted to 25%. Those with incomes in the range of 50 to 99 were at 19%, and only 11% of those with an income of below 50% owned Bitcoin. Yeah, no kidding, because if you own Bitcoin, guess what? It go up, it not go down. Okay, monkey. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe some people. Oh, God. Now I got to take a breath because this author, oh, they got to be Sahana Kiran. Yeah, they can't be. Whew. Breathe, please, breathe. The real news here is that 25% of Americans with income greater than 100% own Bitcoin as of October 22. Given the power structure of the U.S., that's significant. So Bitcoin already has a powerful U.S. political constituency. Will macroeconomic conditions stop Bitcoin from rallying further? No, I don't think that they do. In case you missed it, Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, out of fear, by the way, we showed that. Sorry, that article came up. So we're going to come back. Here we are, 21,430. Now, can we continue this push? Here is the question. Like, guys, you are literally watching one of those make or break moments in crypto. Like, do we use 21.4 as support? If we do, and if we can, here it goes. Holy shit. All right, guys, we just had a big time rip. Looks like we had $6 billion enter the market in a very, very, very short window. So it looks like Bitcoin is on the move. Ethereum's up to 1604. So everything is starting to look really, really, really good. Now, here's the question. This line, we still have to bounce off of it to use it as support. And you can see right here, because we had that rip just now, all that did was trigger a whole bunch more people to start selling. This was their sell number, 21,500. So now we're fighting that sell level, and you can see money just exiting the market like crazy. we went from 961 billion down to 955 billion. Now we're trying to push our way back up. So, and Bitcoin is now down back below 21,400. So they made the run. We were there for it. Might be that we're pushing back up. It seems to be a lot still going on here. But, when you have people who are selling out their position at 21.4, 21.5 makes it very, very difficult, of course. So, whew. So, that was a pretty good rip, though. That took us to 21.6. So, that's not, by the way, that's the opposite of that's the opposite of the kind of rejection that we were looking for. This, by the way, so just to give an example here, 21.4 is a resistance level that we've been fighting, right? Well, the next level of resistance was 21.5 and 21.6, right? Because every time it's on the hundreds, even though we see it like at 21.401, or we see it down here at 11.50, like the real resistance is on the hundreds, because that's when people set themselves up to sell, right? So what we just witnessed was 21.5 get triggered and 21.6 get triggered. Anybody who got real close to 21.6, who did 21.590 or 21.570 or 21.550, just to make sure that they sold quote unquote the top before 21.6 happened. So all of those are orders that are being liquidated right now. That's why we're seeing this quick move to the downside again. All of that money is being cashed out right now because some of these people that got in down here are selling out. So that being said, if this is a true move, right, then we will quickly see this red candle here sort of start to reverse, and we'll see it mint back towards the upside fairly quickly. Or if this mints red, then we'll see another one buy it start to mint back towards the upside. So, but when you see this happen and this happen immediately, you probably have something like this happening. So we'll probably see a few minutes of reversal, and then maybe, just maybe, we get this thing to sort of take off, right? So, goddamn, that was a pretty good run. That was a pretty good run that we just witnessed. So I hope everybody saw that. I was super excited by it. I was absolutely excited. Now the market is going to open in just a second. The DXY, by the way, we should point this out. We're finally seeing that capitulation on the DXY that we've been looking for so long. We're finally in this area where digital assets probably should be able to thrive. Gold continues to pump, by the way, is up right now to not a local high even, but still a high. Let's go back over here, and you can see how gold is running right now. And what's happening is, of course, that's a store of value. And what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a store of value. And so we're going to start to see those kind of things. And now the market's down to 952 billion. So we watched $9 billion exit right after that giant green candle. So now are we reloading, and are we coming back in, and will it come back in? And will they just blow this thing up? So, that's of course the question. We've got the big green candle. Hopefully it's going to play out good. But in the meantime, let's get over here. Crazy stuff. Saitama on a run again, up 1701, still up 40% on the week. And guys, I mean, listen, I told you Saitama was going to have a run. At some point, there's going to be enough people selling out that Saitama will have no choice. And of course, and what happened? Everybody that I said that to were, oh, that's not going to happen. Saitama's dead. Well, there's your dead token, up 40% with a $76 million market cap again, on its way back up. Now, if you're Saitama, then you've got resistance. You've got massive levels of resistance at every single level. But that is a big move right there. So, it's possible that we're looking at 1800 and then 2000 as resistance points. Then we've got this massive level of chop. This is going to be tough for them to navigate through. There'll be a lot of selling at this level. So if they can get there, and I should say that, I should preface that with, if they can get there, then this reversal plays out with a lot of fighting back and forth. So, whew, crazy. Hulk Inu sitting at 48.48. WAGMI starting to move a little bit. We're finally seeing just a little bit of life, not a lot. You go here, one buy in the last hour, 3 buys, 6 sells in the last 24 hours. So the enthusiasm is still not there for WAGMI, just kind of choppy trading sideways. And so, nothing to celebrate, but we got to get that listing. Once that listing is on, once this game is in iOS, once it's on all the places, then great. Decanect trading at 49.23. We had it at 5 cents a little bit earlier, 5.3 cents. It looks like, did not hold. Another big move, another big upside run, would not hurt this one at all. SHIB 1064 starting to consolidate right here. But listen, if you look at this, and I might be convincing myself, right? But we're on this move toward the upside. And then we've got this pattern forming right here, and we're hitting this top a couple of times, right? And with this right here being this, then we've got a full-on bull pennant ready to break out. So it is possible that we see an actual breakout, like not just a fake out, but an actual breakout of SHIB coming very, very soon. Of course, Bone is going to be trading at the highest of levels. Most probably they were at $1.39 yesterday, $1.40 today. So not a whole lot of movement, but the 7-day is a 21%. So keep your eye on it, because I think that SHIB runs again. I'm just not sure how far it's going to go. Terra's at 32.10. Again, Terra is basically propped up at this point by the rest of the market. 24-hour volume is only 8,000. It's up 13.6% on the week, $137,000 in volume, 2% buy, 2% sell, meaning that they've accumulated, $3,000, close to that, from trades. So they're still reliant on the exchange to start making stuff happen. So expect some more downside here. I just get a feeling here. Thank you for the $50 bomb. If this is a real run, every coin is a good buy because the whole market has been down so long. It's still like being early. And that's a very true statement. You cannot understate the fact that when you start to zoom out, you see how deeply this market has been affected. And we're going to turn off VRVP, by the way. But you cannot understate how far down everything is. When they say buy the dip, this is the dip, and we are still in the dip. And just to give you an example, on Bitcoin itself, if you bought today and it actually achieved its all-time high, you're going to be over 3x from your position on Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin do what Bitcoin do, and if we look at just kind of a weekly chart here, and we continue up this long-term sort of trend here, and listen, all these guys that have been doing this for a long period of time, let's move this out here. Okay. The next time, remember, this thing touches in July of 2017, December of 2018. So every 16 months, right? Is that, and then March of 20, then it didn't touch for 2 years. If it touches again in 2 years, it's going to touch, and the bottom of Bitcoin is going to be 37 or 38,000. Just consider this line right here, and consider that this has been the floor of Bitcoin all this time since we got past this level over here, right? So if you just consider this line to be a portent of futures to come, so to speak, then this line, which we've respected for 5 years, now puts a 2-year breakout, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, right around 40, 45,000, somewhere in there. Like that's just crazy. That's going to be the bottom of Bitcoin at some point. So, and then if you and you look at the channel on how it breaks, let's just assume that this top right here is going to be respected at least for a period of time. We don't know for sure, but that's been consistently where we are. So in this channel, there's any range of, in November of 24, Bitcoin could be anywhere from 38,000. Well, no, let's say December of 24, Bitcoin could be anywhere from 37,300 up to 185,000 for one Bitcoin. So that's the channel. That's what we've respected all this time. So what are we going to do? We're going to still continue to respect that if this thing holds. And if it's held, then this is why people are so bullish on Bitcoin, because it continues to do what it's been doing. People have recognized these little chart patterns. People have recognized these little moves, and wow, you know what I mean? So Dow Jones is out and it's down 117. Looks like it's not nearly as down as it was in the pre-market. We'll see if that gets eaten up. Again, profits from the banks did not look as good as they should have. Those could have been so much better. So we'll see what happens there. Now, the total market cap is at 946 billion. We've now lost 15 billion in capital from the crypto market in the last little while. Let's go out now and let's do a 5-minute here, and you can see right here that it just fully bottomed out. So that was a massive rejection. Now, the good thing is if we're still interested, and I do think the market is still interested, by the way. I don't think that this is that's not a capitulation, because we've seen that a couple of times here, and boom, it shoots back up, and it comes down, and boom, it's shooting back up. These are 5-minute charts, so it's very difficult. Like you don't even see that on these, right? But you see, every time we hit that new number, we liquidate a bunch of new positions, and then it accumulates again, and then it's going to send us back up. Now, the question is, was that rejection too much? You know, that's the question. We had that big pump, and now did we reject? Now, we don't have any negative news in the crypto market, so it stands to reason that that was just a quick rejection, and we're going to start seeing this thing build back up. People are going to quote unquote reload their bags. But looking on these 1-hour charts, you know, you get the sense here that, and by the way, if you're doing like a fib retracement, this thing makes no sense. Like this makes no sense. Even at the top, you're basically seeing that reversal to 38. But when this originally happened over here, you were seeing it made sense. But then this just consolidated and consolidated and consolidated. So, I mean, you have to argue that you're in this right here, and then you're in this parallel channel right now, right here. You're in a flag position. Like, you know, you have to recognize that this is one of those bull pennants that's just rife to break out, and we get a big upside move. Now, market conditions, we'll see how the market conditions go, because Dow Jones, I think, is going to be a mixed bag. I don't even know that we end up on a negative at the end today for Dow Jones. I think that you need to be, because there's been this run happening right here. So every time we get that run, of course, we have a little correction to the downside. So it can't keep running like this for very long. And, you know, not for nothing, but we do have kind of a pattern formed of a slow move right here to that downside, or at least kind of creating a top that's slowly capitulating there. So it wouldn't be anything to see like a literal, like, let's just move right here and say that we're going to get a retracement, down to maybe 33.7 at best, and then start to move. So, it does look like the market is going to correct. So that is crazy that we got that 962. Now, what does that mean for this overall here? $994 billion. I'm going to hit refresh just in case. 997 billion in market cap on coin market cap. So we were probably at 1 trillion just a little while ago, but you know what? We don't want to celebrate hitting it. We want to celebrate holding it. So, but let's move on. NGN has a white paper coming out today. We'll see that coming out pretty soon, you guys. So I'll do a video on that a little bit later that you'll be able to see. RBF 2085 had a nice big run that got muted by just another massive sell-off. As soon as it got a little bit upwards, it came right back down. Volt 9061. Volt is, if you see this right here, this is literally playing out again. It had this nice run, then it had this correction. And if you look at, you had a retracement down to the 776 line, and then it just moved on again. So now you got to ask yourself, what's the next step? And the next step here was this right here and this right here. So we haven't even seen it fully retrace from where it started at this point. So there's probably some more, just like this right here, maybe some more downward movement, downward pressure to the 5 to 0.5, and then the next move up. Now, if that next move up happens, then I'm predicting that we're probably going to sit at around 1170 on the next pump. And the reason for that is both of these moves have been pretty aggressive. So what's the next move? That next move puts us over 1047. So I got a feeling that since there's a lot of room to run right there, that we probably end up at 1170. BRL down to 344 over the 7 days, still at 3%, but not a lot of activity. Need to see just a little bit more happening. And as we have created, and what I pointed out, what we don't want to see is what's happening right now. It came out of the channel, and as it came out of that channel, now we have a problem. Lillian still struggling at 61.44. The sales still continue. They got to work through some things. They got to come up with a new plan of action on what they're going to do, how they're going to attack this. 53.31 on Okami. So, and by the way, the meme coin market has not taken off yet. We've seen pockets where good stuff has happened. Cult was unable to sustain. It flash crashed back down. There's too much profit taking right now. So, that's very, 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 very tough to, but I should also point out, because I got to go. But let me point, like, this is just absolutely bonkers, by the way. Look, I'm a Volt maxi, right? And that that I'm telling you guys that Volt is the real deal, right? I've been doing this since the beginning, but this, what excites me the most, of course, is the top exchanges, because that's going to pump the price, right? The rest of it still excites me because this is a massive sort of move. But here's what's happening right now that I think that people don't realize, or that they will realize very quickly. There are now 23 projects that have Volta change on their website. So Shenzi Inu, another meme coin, has Volta change as their swap. Then you have Farmies coin, which is the 22nd, which has Volta change on their website for their swap. As you keep going down here, Moon Bunny BSC is the 21st project. Again, these are small volumes, but guess what? Small volumes add up. And once you consider that this is just the start of some mass adoption for Volta change, once you start to see how this thing is playing out, then you realize here's Hulk Inu, the 20th project. Then right down here, the OHMI is the 19th project, and you just keep going down the list, and you see time and time and time again, you see these adoptions happening, right? Well, what happens when all of those places, when we start to get that bull run, when we start to get that real bull run? Well, guess what? All those places are going to start buying tokens, and they're going to be using Volt exchange. And what's going to happen? 0.25% of every Volt token is burned. Well, of every Volt, oh my God, of every transaction is going to be used for a buyback and burn. I mean, that is crazy how much Volt can be burned in just a short period of time at burn Volt. And when you look over here, you're going to start to see a massive run of burns from Volt Inu. 6 million burn here, 6 million burn here, 456,000 burn here. Here we go. 275.5 million 2 hours ago burn. In the past 24 hours, $2,300 of Volt have been burned. Now, this is, of course, just going to the dead wallet. So far, 4.8 trillion tokens, 3.49% have been burned from the initial supply of 138 trillion. And by the way, that's 2 chains, not just 1 chain. So, but you consider, just consider like 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago, there's burn after burn after burn after burn as these guys continue to use, and as everybody continues to use, then this burn just continues to manifest itself bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes. So Volt is just, maybe on another level. Bitcoin, by the way, is now bouncing back. We're at 21,000, almost 21,200. So I wish we could have a watch party to just kind of check this whole thing out for the day, right? But I mean, listen, Bitcoin runs. If Bitcoin runs, then a couple days later, the altcoins start to run. The ones that don't run initially, Aave up 11%, Gala up 13%. Like, there's some of them that are just running right now because the sentiment is real positive. But a few days later, what happens after Bitcoin runs? Then everything else, the alts start to run. What happens as we get 30 days away from Shanghai? ETH is going to really start to run, and ETH is not running right now. ETH is running because of Bitcoin, but when ETH gets on its own run, then that's going to be super, super cool. And maybe we see 2,200 Ethereum. Maybe we see 2,300 Ethereum this time. Maybe, just maybe, we don't get nearly as excited and I'm out of my mind and none of that happens. Like, it doesn't even get close, right? Because it's a long way to go. But positive sentiment in the market, and we're above the EMA of the 200. Look, the 200-day moving average is important, and we are over the moving average. That symbolizes a big move, right? So let's expect that we're going to have at least a nice little run happening. And you see the money still continuing to pour back in after dumping just a little while ago. And we are now on a green candle on the hour with only 50 minutes left. So, that pump that we got up here, we're on a green candle is all I can say. So we're going to see that again. We're going to see, maybe we're going to use 21.4 as some resistance at some point. Maybe we don't pop back down, but we popped 21.5. We popped 21.6. Liquidations happened, and now we are roaring back. Now, so that leaves us with the only thing left, and that is my new outro, which I worked on this yesterday. I don't think it's great. I think it's good, but you tell me what you think. If you like it, then leave a comment. If you didn't like it, then it's not financial advice. My name's Bleeves. I am always right. You guys have a good day, and we will see you for bedtime tonight.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like